Today, we're talking about why AI is killing your health and fitness business. And over the last year or so, I would say AI really has become huge. You okay there, James? You're leaning back slightly.
Yeah, well, it's just like
Getting
just
your
the
camera in
focus.
focus. So yeah, AI is your camera run on AI? Is it? Are you a real person? But yes, it has become huge over the past year or so, and like we use Chat GPT. What's the Google one called? Gemini, is it?
Gemini Pro.
Gemini Pro. Before actually we get into the health and fitness thing, I kind of feel sorry for teachers. I'm sure kids and university students must be using AI more and more and more to write their essays. How are you going to know? How are you going to know? That's the thing. I don't know how schools and universities and colleges get around that, like, because it's everywhere now. But yes, there are drawbacks, and there are, it could be potentially killing your health and fitness business. James, do you want to go into some of the reasons why that may be?
Yeah, so there's now millions and millions of blog posts and content being created through AI. Every day. Google is being spammed. You don't necessarily need more content every day because there's already enough content, but it's being spammed by these AI bots creating this content for people and regurgitating it out one after the other. But the problem is that the content they're creating is based off other people's content. So there's basically pulling data from things that have already been published in the past. So there's nothing new. You with me? There's nothing new. It's basically regurgitated content. So people are using AI, write this blog post about this. Great. But it's pulling data and sources from other blog posts that are highly thought of to write it in your own style, just regurgitating the same old thing. So there's no new, fresh perspective. So what's happening is this. Now, you may get away with it for a little bit when you post a new blog post that's SEO friendly, it's written as how Google wants it. But when Google finally crawls your website and tracks and ranks you properly, guess what happens? It'll tank your website rankings and tank your traffic coming to your website. We're seeing it time after time after time. So what's happening as well is the better Google gets at detecting AI generated content, right? The faster it's going to rank and like crash and burn your website further down. Now, it's not just websites. Look at all the social media posts that are going out now. Everyone's putting into social media, write me a caption for this, and they're posting something like that in their social media feeds. I can tell it's AI written within a matter of seconds, right? And it turns me off. And that's the same thing here. When people detect it's written by an AI bot, people get turned off. They want to hear your own personal expertise, experience, authority, all that type of stuff, like Google does, to hear it. So it's killing your fitness business without you knowing it, essentially, because you're creating content going, yes, this will save me time, so much effort. But it's not. In terms of like creating that connection, that feeling, and like creating that useful content to be helpful. So AI is a great tool. It'll help you write things and research things faster, but it shouldn't be the thing that does everything for you. You've got to combine AI with research, combine with your own expertise, and put your own voice to it so it works and your true self comes across well on social media or on blog posts or on any form of your website whatsoever in writing content. And that's really important. So again, just think about this. Next time you read a bit of content, is it AI? Is it not? If you can't tell, that's a good thing. And that's okay. Google's happy with that. You can use AI generated content as long as it's not people putting the user off. But again, when you look on social media with all the influencers who are now doing ChatGPT for all their posts, just read through it and just skim through it, guys, and you'll see straight away that they're using it, particularly if it's full of emojis. Think about that.
Yeah, I was going to say though, it is a useful tool though, isn't it? Because we're all very busy and don't have tons of time to create blog posts and content. And obviously, as we keep saying, it's massively important to create blog posts and helpful content in order to rank higher on Google. So how can we use AI but not use it too much? Where's the balance in act on that?
And that's what we're still finding out. I think that's what we're still finding out. I think absolutely we need to use it. We use it. We use it to help research topics and create us outlines for certain podcasts sometimes, for certain blog posts, if I've got an idea. But it's a combination of using both human and AI. That's the most important factor. It's like you can use AI to help skim read an article and summarize it. You can also help summarize the the good points of an article in terms of what the headings I should be focusing on when I write my article that I want to do better. So you can do all these types of things, but shouldn't copy and paste, or you shouldn't redo certain things like exactly everybody else does. You've got to add your human voice, your human touch to all this to showcase your expertise. Again, you're not going to regurgitate the same thing. Why a Bulgarian split squat is really good. Why people should be breathing with their diaphragm more effectively. Why should people be using zone 2? There's 1,000,001 articles out there about that. It could be my experiences using zone 2, a beginner's guide, or something like that, just to give it a bit more authority and a bit more reality to the content they're creating.
A bit more personalization. Yeah. Andrew, what's your experience with AI?
Quite a bit, I guess. As you say, we all use ChatGPT to varying extents. I like to use it primarily. I made the mistake back in the day. Hey, this is great. Let's create content and then utilize that content. But then when you read it, your voice isn't coming through. James hits the key point there. It's got to be your voice, your personality that reads through and projects out of this of any content that we look to create. So I prefer using it for the outlines. If I've got the cursor blinking on a blank screen, and I've got to put something together, be it a blog post, be it a post that we put into our school community, or whatever it might be, having that framework. And I like, because I'm not the greatest writer. Sometimes it makes sense in my head, but when it's on paper, doesn't really the message doesn't convey in the manner that it should do. So popping that content into ChatGPT, asking it to analyze it and rephrase it so it reads better, that can help a long way as well. So those are the bits, and there's a whole manner of AI devices out there now, and it's not going away. It's going to come into play more and more. But we've got to look at the longer game here and not go for the quick wins. And we've got to utilize it, but do it in such a way that it's doing the hard work for us. So it's the assistant in garnering all the key elements of whatever content we're putting out. But then we act as the editor, and we're adding in our own elements, our own voice into that, so that it reads and it is a unique, original piece of content then. And I think that's the way forward.
Yes, indeed. There you go, guys. Make sure, do use AI. We use it, but use it strategically. And as we say, make sure it's personalized and it's got your voice in it. Otherwise, you may well be killing your health and fitness business. And that is not what you want to do. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want more help getting clients or patients, then booking your free 50-minute strategy call with us by going to strengthmanners.com/strategy.